If you put your husband first, you're neglecting your kids. And if you put your kids first, you're neglecting your marriage. Which one is it? Let's talk about it. So I posted on this topic on my Instagram page in reaction to Aisha Curry sharing about this in a People magazine interview where she mentioned that she puts her husband before her kids in their marriage, and social media had a lot to say about it. And when I posted it on my Instagram, the same exact thing happened. There was a lot of chatter in the comments. So I immediately thought, I need to talk to my girls about this. Like, this needs to be talked about more. Let's see if we can get to the bottom of this question. Before you watch the rest of this video, I want you to comment below right now the first thing that comes to your mind, whether you have kids or you don't, or you have a spouse or you don't. Comment down below. Who do you think comes first, your spouse or your kids? Let's dive into it. I'm gonna try to do my nails while I talk about this, because they really need to be done. Never done this before, but I am using the Dashing Diva Glaze product. My goodness. My son was in here and he ripped this right off. These kids. Did he break it? It's perfect that this happened because, you know, given the topic of conversation, my husband wouldn't even touch this. Hold on. There we go. Okay. So this is my little infrared situation. It says Dashing Diva on it. This is what we're gonna use to try to stick these down. Also, comment down below which of these I should try, and have you ever done your nails like this before? Let's see how this goes. So the first reason that came to my mind is that your kids are completely dependent upon you. So I'll use myself as an example. I have a 2.5-year-old son, and my husband and I will be 5 years married this year. When he was an infant, I was most definitely in the school of thought of my kid comes first. And I kind of feel like my husband was in that same school of thought as well, because he needed me for his milk and even to sleep, to poop, to everything. We focused a lot on our son at the time because he needed us in order to survive. We were teaching him survival. So yes, did we make time, like try to make time for each other? Absolutely. But we definitely gave our son the priority at that time, right? Is scientifically proven, okay? This is not just my own thoughts. Science has shown that babies, when they're first born, they still think that they are a part of their moms. Like, they still think that we are one and the same, essentially. So that's why they're so much more attached to us. And because of that, it's only natural, I would think, for them to come first in our minds, you know? And then lastly, and I'm sure there are other reasons which you guys are gonna share, but I think in some cultures, this is also a thing where culturally babies are given like the utmost reverence, you know, like they're seen as the future, you know, or like almost more spiritually elite because they're so fresh and young and naive and innocent, right? Like they're truly a gift. Some of them put them at the top, some of them put them at the center of like family life because of how young they are and how much care they need. Comment below if you think that kids are more important. Why do you think that they're more important? Like, what is your reasoning for thinking that way? Okay, then we're gonna use our prep pad and clean off our nails. So, argument for why your spouse should go first. So I was actually introduced to this topic by our marriage counselor. I had it all the way around, okay? But when we spoke to our marriage counselor, we were told your spouse should come first. And here are some of the reasons they gave. Who told me that I should do these two things at the same time? I'm such a mom. Like, instead of just doing one thing. Oh yeah, I cleaned my nails while I filmed this video. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm not a big fan of what's going on my nails right now. I feel like I should just push through. Maybe I should mix them, you know, do a few of these and a few of these and have a little design going. let's see. Anyways, so it's hard to deny that a strong marriage usually results in strong kids. These nails are taking me out. So I have seen firsthand how my son learns from how me and my husband relate. Like, he imitates us all the time. He's very loving towards me, very loving towards my husband. The way that we talk to him is the way that he talks to us. The way that we talk to each other is the way that he talks to us. If I call my husband and I'm like, babe, he'll say, babe, I need your help. And the way that my husband talks to me, baby, you're so beautiful, he will say the same things to me. Mama, you're so beautiful. Gosh, don't try this at home, guys. Just go to your local nail shop place and treat yourself. Don't be like me. Second point is that your marriage existed before your kids came. Like, one of my girlfriends and I joke all the time about how our kids are the ops, like they're the opposition. Like, sometimes you feel like you cannot stand your spouse. They're so irritating. They're getting under your skin. And then you'll go out with them, just the two of you, and you're like, my gosh, I actually don't hate you. Like, I actually like you. It's these kids. It's this baby that has me thinking that you're the worst when you're not that bad. And most importantly, I feel like neglecting your spouse can lead to divorce. Like, it doesn't matter what you put over your spouse, whether it is a passion, or your children. Putting things other than your relationship with God above your spouse can be detrimental to your marriage, right? Some people say, I'll get back to my spouse later, right? Once my kids get older and they're more independent. But what if your spouse isn't there anymore? What if you've lost them at that point? Like, you have denied me long enough, I'm out. So I think those are the three main arguments for pro-marriage being at the top. Now, I think where the struggle is for moms with this topic, because notice this question became popular because of a mother's response, not a father's response. So I think as moms, we always have this pressure of doing it all, like the kids, the husband, the career, and we're also always multitasking, whereas men naturally focus on one task at a time. This just seems like another balancing act that we have to do, And then let's not forget about the guilt. Like, guilt, girl, the guilt is insane. If you prioritize your husband, then in certain situations you feel like you are neglecting your child. And then if you prioritize your child, you feel like you're neglecting your husband. And no one wants to be a bad mom or a bad wife. So I'll give you guys a perfect example of this. Breastfeeding was not terribly difficult for me. The issue for me was I couldn't figure out how to use my pump, and I was producing more milk than my baby was drinking for a little period of time. But breastfeeding otherwise was not bad for me. What was tough for me was having to be my child's main source of food around the clock while also being present for my spouse. That was really challenging. Like, the breastfeeding times were really hard, and that to me was the most obvious season. Like, I was doing more of the parenting load than he was, which may or may not have been true, but that's how it felt at the moment. So in a season like that, you feel as though, like, I am this child's source of food. Like, without me, he cannot live. Yes, I'm gonna need to put him first, But then at the same time, moments when I feel like I've needed to put my husband over my son is moments when we're not on the same page. Like, when my husband and I are not on the same page, I feel as though, my son has to take the back burner, but on a consistent basis, it is a balancing act. Now, before I say too much about what I believe, I think it's only right that we go to the Bible to see what the Bible says about this. Genesis 2 verses 24. This is our first verse. That is why a man leaves his father and mother and is united to his wife, and they become one flesh. So to me, that is showing that the marriage is the foundation of the family unit. But comment down below, what do you interpret when you read that? Our second reference in the Bible. For the husband is the head of the wife, as Christ is the head of the church, his body. of which he is the Savior. Now, as the church submits to Christ, so also wives should submit to their husbands in everything. Husbands, love your wives, just as Christ loved the church. To me, that says that as spouses, we are called to love and respect one another. Okay? Let's check our next reference. Comment down below, okay? This is a discussion, this is a conversation that we're having. Our last one, Ephesians 6, verses 1 to 4. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor your father and mother, which is the first commandment with a promise, so that it may go well with you and that you may enjoy a long life on earth. Fathers, do not exasperate your children. Instead, bring them up in the training and instruction of the Lord. To me, that says parents are responsible for their children and taking care of their children, but the parents come first. The parents set the tone. So it's like parents, children. Okay? So my understanding is that from the Bible, the marriage should come first over children. To me, it is as clear as day. But let me know what you think in the comments. Now, here's what I believe, which should be relatively obvious after reading what it says in the Bible, because I am a Christian and I do follow and align myself with biblical truth, or at least I aim to do so. After having that conversation with our therapist and after reading the Bible, I do believe that marriage comes first. Your spouse comes first over your kids because you set the standard for your children. It does not necessarily mean, in my opinion, that by putting your marriage over your kids, you are neglecting your children by any means necessary. It just means that you need to ensure that they have a standard to follow. If they are seeing your relationship with your spouse and you are neglecting certain things in your relationship with your spouse, it's only going to kind of set the standard for your household. That is my belief and my understanding of this topic. But let me know, if you had to choose, who would you choose? Let's talk about it in the comments. Let me try to finish these nails and then I'll show you guys and we'll end it there, okay? Okay, I'm back just to show you guys my nails. Hopefully you can see them. My review of this product is, it's not a really intuitive product to use. Like, it does have a learning curve. It is not something you want to multitask and do. It's something you want to give its own dedicated time to do. As far as the final result, if my nails themselves were longer, I think it would be cuter, but because my nails are kind of stubby, it's a really stubby look. But I'll wear it throughout the week, and if you want to know how it wore, you need to follow me on Instagram to find out. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this with anyone that you think that is going to have something to say about it, because it's an important topic but a very controversial topic. Be kind to one another in the comments. This is just a place for conversation. I hope you enjoyed this video and you're enjoying the content that I'm posting. As always, thank you so very much for your support. I greatly appreciate it, and I hope to see you on the next one.